defender number 7, John Paul Manicula Campos. At midfielder number 8, Tyler Hambright. At forward number 12, Tafaja Deco Turumanzi. At defender number 15, Jonah Harvey. At forward number 18, Graylin Gill. At defender number 22, Johnny Soto Berkovic. At defender number 24, Joseph Hawkins. At midfielder number 31, Drew Thomas. And in goal for the Royals, number 99, Connor Enriquez. The Royals are coached by Samuel Okai. And now, starting for your Knights, at midfielder number 6, Connor Giddens. At midfielder number 7, Tanner Gonder. At forward number 9, Thomas McFoyle. At forward number 11, James Allen. At midfielder number 15, Raymond Casado. At midfielder number 20, Nicholas Merton. At midfielder number 24, Porter Whitlock. At midfielder number 30, Elijah Holman. At midfielder number 33, Tad Catalamar. At midfielder number 35, Brock Hester. And in goal for the Knights, number 1, Braden Stringham. The Knights are coached by Braden Pemberton and assisted by Jay Zachariah and Jeffrey Conlon. Now, if you will all please rise and face the flag for the playing of our nation's national anthem. Thank you, and good luck to both sides.
Outnumbered, aren't you?
Exactly. You're on a bus for 4 hours. Give me a little bit.
Good afternoon, friends. We welcome you to the field at Southern Virginia University for today's NCAA Division III soccer matchup between your Southern Virginia University Knights and the Regent University Royals. My name is Quinn Meyer, and joined alongside me in the booth today is Nicholas O'Connor. So the Knights, Nick, on a nice 6-game unbeaten streak, 4 wins in their last 6 games. What have you liked in the past few weeks from the Knights?
Yes, Quinn. There's a lot to like out of this Knight squad. Particularly, the performance of Benjamin Simister has been excellent. 5 goals in the last 3 games that the Knights have played. Definitely a player to watch tonight.
Yeah, so a bit of an offensive explosion from Simister, but also other Knights, and that's contributed to their big 6-game unbeaten streak, already eclipsing more wins they had last year, with 4 now on the season. Regent themselves coming in with a 2-5 record. They're on a 5-game losing streak currently after starting 2-0, so they'll try and right the ships for themselves today. And another thing to notice right off the bat, Nick, is a bit of a different starting lineup for the Knights than in past games. A lot of guys being inserted into the lineup rather than your typical mainstayers like Ammon Lewis. But this gives a really nice opportunity for these other players to gain valuable experience.
Now, would you attribute the change in lineup to the recent success, or perhaps the opponent that they're facing today?
Maybe a little bit of both. I think obviously they have 2 games remaining in their non-conference schedule, and so they want to have their top guns fresh and ready to go. But also, the guys that are in the starting lineup, they've played before quite a bit and given valuable minutes. But it'll be a nice different look for the Knights to give these guys some minutes to start. As the Knights just play around with it in their own end. This is Traden Stringham, who since coming in relief for Dallin Chappelle has played virtually every minute for the Knights in goal. Has played very strong with 2 clean sheets during the 6-game unbeaten streak.
Yes, and Stringham with nearly 80% saves made on the year so far. So he's doing quite well back there in goal. Knights pressing forward for an opportunity here.
This is Tefalelmar of the Knights trying to get with it. He loses it, but eventually goes back to Porter Whitlock of the Knights. And they'll go around the ring with it. This is number 30, Elijah Holman.
Knights seem content right now to move the ball around, wait for an opportunity to open up.
Now back to their keeper, Traden Stringham, and now number 20, Nicholas Merton. Nick's a freshman from Corvallis, Oregon. Now this is Thomas McPoyle sending it back for Merton.
Seemed like there was a good interception there on the pass, but nothing coming as a result of it.
Knight's going to keep surveying the field, looking for an opening. Any teammates cutting through the middle of the field unmarked, way back to Traden Stringham, who's about 20 yards out of his goal. No pressure coming from him. So it looks like Regent, they're pretty content to sit back and let the Knights offense come to them, which is why we probably find ourselves in a bit of a stalemate right now. As Porter Whitlock looking down the far side. Really nice move of the Knights to get free. He's got a teammate in front and taken up by the goalkeeper, Enriquez. Really nice move on the far side for Southern Virginia. But eventually Regent able to cover it and gain possession. That was number 15, Ramon Casado. He's from Azua, Dominican Republic.
Knights getting it back to Stringham, give him an opportunity to reset so they can take on the field how they would like to.
Looking for another through ball way down on the side of Regent. The Royals able to clear it, but now Casado back with it. He's going to look for his teammate Brock Hester in the middle of the field. Elijah Holman sending it back for Merton, eventually back to Traden Stringham. As we mentioned earlier, Traden, a freshman in goal for the Knights, has 38 saves coming into today. 2 clean sheets on the year. This is Brock Hester, really nice through ball looking for Holman on the near side. He'll go back towards the sideline for McBoyle. Now Brock Hester, really nice turn to get through a couple of defenders. He'll set up Thomas McPoyle inside. Regent going for the tackle. McPoyle's going to come down. No call on the play, I believe. And I think it's going to remain a corner for Southern Virginia, their first on the day.
Now, that was a dangerous bit of contact there for the Royals. And they are certainly not unfamiliar with getting fouls called against them. at 119 so far on the year.
So this is Brock Hester to take the corner for SVU. Going to try and convert early into the box. It goes off a couple of bodies. It looked like it went off Porter Whitlock. He wasn't expecting it. Knights trying to gain control again. Brock Hester, really nice spin move to get around the defender. He'll send it back towards the middle. He's got a teammate open, but a good play defensively by Regent. Taking it right away from Porter Whitlock, who is in the area unmarked. Here's Casado. Into the middle for Tafel. He'll send it back for Porter Whitlock, who lofts this one high into the near side, where Elijah Holman tries to trap it, but it goes off his foot out of bounds. Throw in for the Royals.
Now, Quinn, another note on Trayden Stringham here. Now, I've mentioned before in previous games, he may not be the prototypical look of a goalkeeper that you might expect. You know, he's not tall and lanky. However, quite agile, quite athletic, quite capable of reaching all corners of that goal, of that net there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of times in the past few games where Trayden on these corners and free kicks has been able to get up high above the attackers and punch it out. So certainly using his athleticism to his advantage, as now Regent will reset. We'll set up number 31, Drew Thomas. And then send it back for their defenders. Now back for Connor Enriquez.
Now, Quinn, these teams have not seen each other since 2018. So it would seem to me that there's a little bit of poking, a little bit of prodding, feeling out what the other team can do, what they're going to move forward with, so that the Knights can know best how to attack moving forward.
Thomas McPoyle looking inside to his teammate. They'll try and get it back to Elijah Holman. He'll lose it, though. Really nice defensive play by number 8, Tyler Hambright. I believe Tyler's the leading goal scorer on the year for the Royals, 4 goals in 7 games played. And back to Nick's point, of course, Regent is a member of the NCCAA, the National Christian College Athletic Association, so not going to see Southern Virginia too often, but this is their second meeting. Knights taking the first meeting in 2018 2-0, so they lead the all-time series 1-0. Thomas McPoyle making a run down the near side. He's boxed out by a defender, and it looks like the referee's going to give possession to the Royals, a goal kick. So overcast, but a really nice day for soccer here in Buena Vista.
Oh, absolutely. And as always, you could never ask for a more beautiful location to play in, looking out over the Shenandoah Valley as the sun begins to set.
That one's going to bounce off a Royal out of bounds, and now Casado will throw in, looking for Porter Whitlock behind them. Knights will survey the field again, send it to the near side. And this is where Elijah Holman can take control. It's going to bounce off his foot. And almost a tough turnover there right to a Royal. Now Tafel Elmar. He's going to turn it over back to Tyler Hambright, and the Royal is back on the attack. It's number 12, Josh Moore, in there for the Royals. He's playing the back line with Cameron Laubach.
And you'll notice here the Royals beginning to pick up pace a smidge, starting an attack.
You're looking for Tyler Hambright on the near side. He's sandwiched in between the corner flag and the defender. That's going to go out of bounds, a throw-in for the Royals. That was Mertens playing some good defense to force that out of bounds. Looks like that's Drew Thomas, a sophomore from Lynchburg, Virginia, is going to throw it in for the Royals. A lot of attackers going inside the box. He's not going to throw it too far. Disrupted by a Knight defender. Into the box it goes, and a good header to clear it. Now Tanner Goner is just going to punt that way up high, out of bounds, and I think that's going to result in a corner for Regent, their first on the day.
It's a good idea to clear it there, Quinn. Although I'm unsure as to why he ended up taking the ball in that direction.
Yeah, it looks like he might have had more time than he thought he did. Now Regent's going to take their first corner. Royals trying to crowd the box. Into the box it goes. It's headed out by Cazado, still up for grabs. And eventually a good clear by Merton. Connor Giddens, a through ball for Tanner Gonder. He's got some space, cuts back towards the middle. A really nice pass across the field for Cazado. He's going to make a run out of it. Loses his footing, but eventually gets back up in control of the ball. And this is Porter Whitlock now. Porter's going to loft that one high, looking for Holman on the near side. Couple of Royal defenders there to break it up, and it's going to go off Tyler Hambright. Corner kick for Southern Virginia, their second on the day.
You'll notice already, Quinn, a drastic change in play from those first 10 minutes where we watched the poking and prodding to now both teams trying to take quick strikes where they have a perceived weakness.
Brock Hester's going to take this one again. It's a bit low. Into the box it goes. Getting up high was Tafel Elmar, the freshman from Pocatello, Idaho. Looks like it might have bounced off his defender as well and deflected outside the goal for a goal kick. So a good opportunity on the second corner of the game for Southern Virginia.
Just unable to capitalize there. Great opportunity, but I'm sure it won't be the last.
Royals in control of it in their own end of the field. Josh Moore is going to slow things down and look for a teammate. He'll resolve to send it over to his defensive partner. Tanner Gonder applying some pressure for the Knights. Good pressure there also by James Allen. He's a junior from Chesapeake, Virginia. Eventually, Royals are just going to try and bang it outside their own end. There's a bit of a tough play by Cazado, but no call. It's back for Porter Whitlock now.
Well, the Royals there seemed to be waiting for a Knight to overcommit, waiting for a Knight to move in, get out of position so that they could begin their attack. It just never opened up for them.
Yeah, both teams seem to be kind of waiting for the attacking team to approach them and not biting on anything, so it's making it a little bit difficult to make any entries into the attacking zone. As Tefel Elmar is taken down by Drew Thomas, I believe. They're going to call that one a free kick now for the Knights, about 50 yards outside of the goal.
Yep, and that not an unusual sight for this Royals club.
Brock Hester sending it into the box, looking for Connor Giddens. That's disrupted by a Royal defender. And now back on the attack is Regent with number 18, Graylin Gill. He's going to look for the goal as Tradem Stringham was quite a ways out. He thought he had that one, but it goes to the right of the post and a goal kick for Southern Virginia. So maybe trading a little bit further out than he thought he was, but nonetheless, it's no goal. And we're not at 0 still.
Dangerous opportunity for the Royals there.
It's Elijah Holman again. They'll eventually send it back for Traden. So far, neither keeper required to make a save, but a couple of corners for each side has resulted in some chances in the early going. This is Porter Whitlock looking for Tanner Gonder. He's going to lose it. Now Tefel Elmar gathers it. And the Knights will try to reset again. And Traden Stringham surveys the field.
Now, as we've mentioned before, this Royal squad has had a tough go of it recently. Simply allowing far more shots on their own goal than they've been able to take themselves. So they're certainly looking to right that a little bit here. And thus far, in this match against Southern Virginia, they seem to be going toe to toe, tit for tat on each goal or shot opportunity.
Nicholas Merton on the near side. He's going to look for Thomas McPoyle, looking to go over the defender, but a nice header. And now the Knights back on the attack. This is Elijah Holman again. Bounces off his foot for Brock Hester, who tries to make it through a defender. Eventually broken up by the Royals. And they're back on the attack until they lose it back to Southern Virginia, and they will reset with Traden Stringham about 15 yards outside his net.
Yes, and all that, Quinn, to say is that thus far in the game, we're seeing some positive signs out of these Royals. Some good momentum, looking like they are ready to turn things around.
Yeah, quite a few games in this 5-game losing streak. They've been scoreless, so they certainly want to right the ship in that. And Cazado's taken down. There's going to be a penalty on the play, free kick for the Knights. Tafalomar wants to go quickly with Brock Hester in the middle of the field. Looking for a through ball, but a really nice defensive play by Hambright to break it up. But then more pressure from the Knights. This is Thomas McPoyle. And now Porter Whitlock will feed Holman. And so for the Knights, looking for these long passes with their speedy players on the wings. Flying down the field, looking for another through ball. Almost got through to Thomas McPoyle. Connor Giddens with it again. Now he gets to McPoyle. He's going to have a shot at the goal, and it's going to be stopped by Enriquez. Maybe deflected off the defender as well. But that should be a corner in the Knights' favor.
Good opportunity there, Quinn. But Enriquez able to cover. Defender back there just unable to complete a proper shot attempt here.
This is Brock Hester for the third time. He's going to take the corner for Southern Virginia. Middle of the box pretty vacant. Now they're going to crash in. Way up high over top of Tanner Gonder, who's after it. He's going to stop him from going out of bounds. Now he's in a possession battle with number 5, Cameron Laubeck. And now the Royals back on the attack. They got a couple attackers upfield. Cazado trying to recover on the far side against Regent. Nice play by Cazado to block it, and he'll clear it out. Looking for James Allen. And now Tanner Gonder will look towards the middle of the field for Connor Giddens to slow things down and start a Knights attack. Elijah Holman's a freshman from Eagle Mountain, Utah. He's going to dish it off back for Nicholas Merton.
Now, Quinn, just a moment to talk with you about formations here. I want to note here, if you've been watching, that the Royal fullbacks or back line here has stayed pretty rigid. These 4 men on the back line trying to hold down the fort here. Whereas on the Knight side, usually we'll have at the furthest back maybe 2 players. Why do you feel like this major difference defensively between the 2 squads?
Well, obviously we can see, a difference in their approaches to this game. Obviously the Knights are riding a lot of confidence offensively, which is why they might be pushing their defenders a little bit more forward than Regent. And obviously Regent, they're, trying to prevent that Knight attack. So, as you said, Nick, they're stacking the line a little bit. But at some point also, they're going to have to push some guys forward. But they have proved that there's been a couple opportunities where they caught the Knights sleeping defensively, like that one where they put it towards the net when Traden Stringham was a bit too far out. So we'll see how that plays out the rest of the game, definitely an interesting thing to point out. As it goes back to Elijah Holman. He gets a header from Merton.
So do you feel like that's the strategy here if you are a Royal? Shut it down defensively and lie in wait until the Knights make a mistake?
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously at half or at some point during the game, if it's not working out for them, then they can make adjustments and go from there. So we'll see how it plays out. It's now Porter Whitlock on the far side. Play slowed down quite a bit. Just over 20 minutes gone in the first half of play. Still 0-0 between the Regent University Royals and Southern Virginia University Knights. This is Traden Stringham now, about 25 yards out of his net. He'll play it to Porter Whitlock, who starts the rush on the far side. He's going to look for Tanner Gonder in the middle of the field. He's pressured by a Royal defender, stays with it. Nice job to protect the ball. Now Connor Giddens in the middle of the field as well. Now Brock Hester. There's a little bit more room on that near side. He'll set up Elijah Holman. Now Brock Hester now protecting it from, I think that's number 8, Tyler Hambright. Holman will look things over and then eventually just send it back for Merton.
Now, we see Stringham a fair distance out of goal at this point. But I'm sure he is keeping there in the back of his mind that shot attempt earlier in which he was caught out like that.
Yeah, it's obviously, part of the game plan, and he's also in an earshot from Coach Peyton Pemberton, so he's certainly receiving extra instruction if needed. But Tyler Hambright with it now, trading backs a little bit further into his goal. Now Thomas McPoyle, really nice chip play over the defender. Looking for a pass from James Allen. McPoyle going really fast down the left near side. But it's broken up by number 12, Josh Moore. And McPoyle will throw in for the Knights.
Yes, loved the idea there with the through pass. A good little 1-2 combo, just unable to place it quite properly.
Ramon Casado making some fancy moves on the far side. He'll eventually go back for Porter Whitlock. Looking for Brock Hester, a little bit more room on this near side. He's going to launch, going for goal just above the crossbar. Out of bounds, a goal kick for Regent, but a good effort by Brock Hester to go ahead and take a go at the net.
Good shot there, absolutely. Definitely the Royals are content to reset and get the Knights away from the ball for a moment.
And while that wasn't a shot on goal, it did seem like the first real clear opportunity at net that a Knight took.
Well, it was certainly a threat, and it appeared to me that Henriquez actually didn't quite read that properly. If that ball would have been a couple of feet lower and to actually have been a shot on goal, there's a fair chance it would have gone in. Henriquez seemed to be on his back foot, leaning back, just unable to play that ball properly. But ultimately, it doesn't seem to have mattered. The ball sailed tall anyway.
This is Regent trying to make an attack. They've got Tyler Hambright. Might look for him on the near side. Instead, they'll go to number 4, Lucas Prendergast. He'll find Hambright, trying to work his way around McPoyle.
And some good passing work from the Royals here.
That one's going to bounce high up off of Thomas McPoyle, out of bounds. A throw-in for Regent. This is Prendergast again on the throw-in. Now they're getting pressure from Connor Giddens. Eventually will reset. Good steal there by Tafel-Elmar. He's going to look for Tanner Gonder about 5 yards ahead of him. And Tanner smartly sends it back for Porter Whitlock. And now Traden Stringham, the keeper, takes control. And you can see, Nick, still 4 Royals stacking that D-line. Not wanting to let anybody get past them. Now the Knights are looking for Casado on the far side. He's got a lot of speed. Does not get to him, but Tanner Gonder, good pressure against Drew Thomas to retake it for the Knights.
And truthfully, Quinn, this stacking of the back line has gone well for the Royals thus far. The Knights have remained scoreless.
Here's Elijah Holman making a move around Tyler Hambright. He's still with it. Good job to shield the ball from Hambright. Now Brock Hester going to cross it into the box. Might have gone off the arm of James Allen. That results in a handball and possession for Regent.
Yep, no denying the handball there.
James Allen, a junior from Chesapeake, Virginia. Another Knight who's getting some valuable minutes. He has seen the field quite a bit this year, but a great opportunity for him and others to start this game. This is Casado sending it for Porter Whitlock. They'll go around the ring with it, now setting up Brock Hester. And then Tad Tefilelmar looking for James Allen down the middle. A bit too far for him. That'll be out of the reach of a couple of Knights, and now Enriquez will roll it to his defender.
Now, another positive note for these Royals here today. On average this season, they have had 4.29 goals scored against them per game, which means right now, in this particular game, they are far exceeding their season average, putting up a far better match thus far than they have all season long.
Here comes Connor Giddens, a couple of fancy moves to get away from the defender. Now Tad Tefilelmar setting up James Allen in the middle. Knights mounting something here. Connor Giddens trying to work his way around a defender. Is loose there for James Allen, but the keeper gets to it in time. Looks like Connor Giddens wanted a penalty, got taken down, but the ref says play on. And we are still knotted at 0, just under 28 minutes into this one.
And I would like to attribute a large part of the success of the Royals today to this stacked back line. Just not wanting to give the Knights any opportunity, to get into the box to make anything happen there. And as we said, it's been working. The Knights getting off a shot opportunity here and there, but nothing of consequence.
This is Lucas Prendergast ready to take the throw in, as the Royals will make a couple of substitutions, or just one rather, that is. Good defense by Mertens, going to force it way over to the far side where Traden Stringham can grab it. He's looking for Tanner Gonder. He's going to make a turn right in front of his own bench, but good pressure by the Royals as they'll take control with Drew Thomas. Drew Thomas, another header. Then Brock Hester gets ahead to that, bouncing around. Both teams jostling for possession. Eventually, Porter Whitlock slows it down, and now it is Nicholas Merton. Again, the Knights on a 6-game unbeaten streak. 4 of those 6 games being wins. The most recent one against Piedmont down in Georgia, a former USA South foe. The Knights did have a 2-0 lead in that one, but eventually a great comeback by Piedmont allowed them to tie it at 2. But either way, lots of offensive confidence for the Knights right now.
Yes, Quinn, which is why it's a bit unusual to see the Knights taking this let's wait and see kind of approach.
Here's Cazado, a really nice pass from Brock Hester down the far side. Now Connor Giddens takes control. He's looking for Tafel. He's got Brock Hester open on the near side, approached by a couple of Royals. And eventually Tyler Hambright, a nice play to kick it off the knee of Brock, out of bounds, a goal kick to the Royals. So we're going to have a handful of substitutions for the Knights right now.
As I was saying, Quinn, a bit unusual to see the Knights take this wait-and-see approach. Very similar to what the Royals are doing, waiting for the Royals to make a mistake. Over the last number of games, these Knights have been quite aggressive and score-happy, if you will. So to see them not have put any points on the board thus far is a bit atypical of this run that they've been on.
Mm-hmm. So a few substitutions made by the Knights. That's number 27, Jacob Lee in the game. Also number 22, Chase Gray. Now they're looking for Elijah Holman down the near side, right next to the sideline. He'll feed it back for Jacob Lee. He'll look for a teammate, pressured a lot by a couple of Royals. That's Prendergast from Regent applying pressure, and eventually Holman will go all the way to the far side for Porter Whitlock, who's got some speed, looking for some space. He's going to go for the goal just to the left of the post, out of bounds, and a goal kick to Regent.
I will say that was quite an excellent ball across the field by Holman. Well placed to his teammate to give him an opportunity there.
Looks like Keith Cardenas just subbed in for the Royals. Also, Aaron Arenas of the Knights came in with that group of Knights on the substitution just a couple of minutes ago. And a good steal right off the bat by Cardenas. And the Royals will reset for Josh Moore. Now Drew Thomas looking for some space. A lot of pressure being applied by Connor Giddens. Also Tad Tefel coming away with the steal, and the Knights are on the attack a little bit too far in front of his teammate and back the other way for the Royals. This is Tyler Hambright now on the far side. And a really nice steal by Southern Virginia Chase Gray in pursuit. Connor Giddens couldn't handle the pass, and possession back for Regent. Dylan Call, the freshman forward, also in there. So pretty much a mass substitution for that front line for the Knights. As Elijah Holman now takes it in his own end. He's going to set up Jacob Lee. Loses it. Didn't know there was a defender right behind him, but fortunately for the Knights, that's number 18, Graylin Gill, will just send it on the goal softly. And Traden Stringham will roll it back to number 20, Nicholas Merton.
And I'm sure the Knights hoping that the change in personnel will lead to some increased opportunities here for them.
So some loose play by the Knights in their own end results in another turnover, now a corner for Regent. As Traden Stringham got a hand to it, but eventually it rolled out of bounds. And now with just under 11 minutes to play in the first half, the Royals have a chance to take the lead. This one floats into the box right on top of Stringham. He'll slap that one out. Good play by Traden. Now Aaron Arenas is on it with lots of speed. He'll try to chip it over number 9, Keith Cardenas, who just subbed in for the Royals. Now this is Drew Thomas on it for Regent. He'll circle back and set up Josh Moore again. Holman's going to clear that out, but Drew Thomas heads it right back in for the Royals to go back on the attack. Porter Whitlock tries to make his way around a couple of attackers, but it goes out of bounds. Another throw in for Regent. As in the past minute or two after that last turnover from Southern Virginia, they've been starting to tilt the field a little bit down towards Traden Stringham.
Well, I think these Royals have noticed the lack of defensive presence over here on the Knights side of the field, and they are working to take advantage of it.
They certainly are, and they'll get ready for a throw in here. Throw it towards the box. The Royal attacker slips a bit, and then eventually the Knights are able to clear it out of bounds. Another throw in the same spot.
You'll notice, Quinn, that this defensive back line of the Royals is stretched for maybe the first time all game.
Mm-hmm. When they have offensive opportunities, I guess they're really trying to load up the box and make the most of those opportunities that they have offensively. But that one's going to float way out of bounds, and Traden Stringham will take a goal kick.
Now, while we are resetting, Quinn, I've got another question to ask of you.
Ask away.
So we know that Straws, Drinks, and Eats is having their upcoming Harry Potter trivia in a few weeks. And I asked you in a previous game if you had selected a house as of yet. So have you selected a house, or are you still maintaining Muggle status?
I'd like to maintain Muggle status, but I think my wife said I should be Hufflepuff, so I'll go with that. As now the Knights back on the attack. This is Jacob Lee trying to chip it ahead for number 22, Chase Gray. Jacob Lee able to regain possession, but eventually a whistle blown, and a free kick now for the Royals. I can't quite remember if we asked which yours was last time, as Porter Whitlock heads it away.
No, you had neglected to ask me last time, but I am a proud Hufflepuff, Quinn.
Okay. So I gave the proper response then.
Of course.
And now Regent back with it in control, just under 8 minutes to play in the first half. SVU 0, Regent University 0.
Now, all of this to say, come on down to Straws. I don't believe that their trivia night will be this upcoming Friday, but they always have some sort of fun activity on a Friday evening.
It was a steal for Dylan Call. He'll lose it again, and the flag goes in the direction of Southern Virginia. Call will leave it for Casado to take the throw in. Going to have another couple of substitutions come in for Southern Virginia. Looks like Casado's coming off, as well as Connor Giddens. That's number 21, Dante Leguizamon. Now Porter Whitlock again has seen the field for the entirety of this first half. Almost a steal for Regent. But now they're going to set up Jacob Lee on the near side. He'll take a shot at goal. Bounces off the chest of Enriquez. But he'll settle things down and reset for the Royals. And just as our women's soccer game the other day against Methodist, it looks like almost the entirety of the men's rugby team has showed up for this men's soccer matchup.
Well, the Knights rugby team brings a lot of spirit wherever they go. They're always having a good time, whether it's on the field or off.
Graylin Gill sends it towards the goal. Traden Stringham calmly collects it. He'll roll it ahead for Porter Whitlock. Now Todd's going to send it ahead, but it's headed out of the defensive territory for the Royals, bouncing around now. Aaron Arenas with it. looking for some space. He's taken down. The ref says play on. Drew Thomas looked like he collided a bit with the official. Now Jacob Lee on the near side. He's going to look for a cross, chip it by the defender. He's got some space into towards the goal, off the defender, and bounces out of bounds. What a move by Jacob Lee to chip it over the defender, Lucas Prendergast, and almost had a beautiful setup for a goal.
Wonderful, wonderful opportunity there. Wonderful ball work. But ultimately, once again, nothing doing.
Looks like Jacob's going to go to the far side himself and take this corner. It'll be the 4th corner on the day for Southern Virginia. As Chase Gray making his way into the box, lofted up high. There's Tafel trying to get ahead to it. He does. Then looks like there's lots of contact between Arenas and Drew Thomas. Or rather, that was not Drew Thomas of Regent. But it is a foul on Aaron Arenas and a free kick for the Royals. Contact to Drew Thomas from Knight defender. Now the Royals back in the attack. They're looking for a through ball for Graylin Gill. Too far in front of him, though, and the Knights will throw in.
Now, with about 3.5 minutes left of the half, do you anticipate the Knights pressing to get a goal in?
They're looking for Trace Gray on the run. The flag stays down. Lots of contact between Gray and a couple of Royal defenders. Ref says play on. And now Regent back in the attack, able to get around Tad Tefalelmar. Here come the Royals. That's number 7, Mancia Campos, circling back with Drew Thomas. And now it's Laubach finding Campos again.
I suppose my question was answered there.
Yeah. Looking again for Tyler Hambright again. He's the leading scorer for Regent. As the Royals trying to get something going. Hambright with 4 goals in 7 games on the year.
And just to complete my thought anyway, I was going to ask whether or not you felt as if the Knights were going to begin to press at the end of this half to get something on the board, or if they were going to be content to readjust game plan at the half.
Yeah, and I think they'll stick to what they started with. Since it's not the end of the game, obviously no reason to press too far ahead, but we'll try to get a couple more rushes in this first half and take the lead into halftime. As Graylin Gill is making a run down the near side, and it forced Traden Stringham to come out and grab it. Knights back in control. I think that's Dylan Call with it. Now Porter Whitlock setting up Nicholas Merton. Jacob Lee looking for Elijah Holman. He's got some room, but he had his back to the goal. He's going to have to reset for Aaron Arenas, who's going to take a cross. Into the box it goes, above the heads of everyone, out of bounds. A goal kick to Regent.
Just too much on that ball. Can we talk about, however, the amount of trust and belief that Coach Pemberton must have in Porter Whitlock? With all of the pieces moving around him, Porter remaining the constant in this particular match.
Yeah, and I think, that trust has been shown throughout the year. He's played some valuable minutes in a lot of other key games during the year, just a freshman. So it obviously shows the talent and the work that he's put in practice during the year. Jacob Lee couldn't get a foot on that. Aaron Arenas now after it. But it looks like Josh Moore's going to get to it first. Good steal by Lee. He's going to set up Trace Gray. A nice play to the chest, and he's going to feed his teammate who just misses it. Looks like that was Dylan Call. And the ball went right between his legs, it looked like. Didn't manage to get anything on it, but the Knights still have it with a throw-in.
Yeah, seemed as if he just struggled to read that coming through the air. Unable to gauge the speed of the ball quite properly to get his foot on it.
Regent trying to make one more run at it. But the Knights were in the vicinity to break it up. Now Elijah Holman with it. He looks like he might hold on. To the end of the half we go. The score is still Regent University 0 and your Knights 0. And with that, we'll take it to the end of the first half. And to close things out before our brief break, what do you take away from that first half, Nick?
Yes, well, Regent University, while I'm sure they would love to be on the board, has to be pleased with the play out of the first half. They have held the Knights scoreless during the height of the Knights' hot streak. They have had some good opportunities moving towards goal, shown a lot of promise in the first half moving forward.
Exactly. So we'll see how the Knights come out in the second half, if they'll stick with the rotation they've gone with so far. But we'll take a short break, just about 15 minutes. We'll be back with the second half, and we'll read a message from our sponsors when we come back. Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of play in this NCAA Division III men's soccer matchup between Regent University and your Southern Virginia Knights. And so, Nick, in the first half of play, we saw each team had their fair share of opportunities, but still some pretty good defense on both sides to lock things down. And we've seen, obviously, that the Knights have come out with more of their typical starting lineup in previous games. We see Ammon Lewis out there, Jacob Cornejo. We see Dallin Miller, Ben Simister, who's on a really hot streak, 5 goals in his last 3 games. And so what can we expect, you think, Nick, from the second half?
Well, the Knights now have a lot of their primary strikers out there. So expect to see them playing like it. Expect a lot of shot opportunities.
Right away, here's Jacob Lee with a drive. It's going to deflect off a foot, and the Royals stave it off.
Yes, it would seem that this Knight squad has decided that it is the time to strike and to score.
Jacob Lee again off the crossbar it goes. What a strike from Jacob Lee. Now Porter Whitlock tries to head it back into the box. It deflects off of Royal, I think. That will be a corner for the Knights. What a drive by Jacob Lee, just as you were saying it.
As you can see, I think this is about what you can expect moving forward. This is the personnel, the squad that really pushes the attack.
And Knights are going to gear up for their 5th corner on the day. As some early pressure being applied into the box it goes. Ben Simister's there, deflects towards the goal line. A good defensive play by the Royals to stave it off. And then it looks like they're deflected off the hand of Nicholas Merton. So another really good opportunity. Those big guns of Southern Virginia proving that this hot streak they're on offensively is certainly not a fluke and that they're here to play.
Yes, and if I were you, Quinn, I would keep a special eye on Benjamin Simister. He, I'm certain, is looking for this scoring streak to continue, and he's only got 1 half in which to do it.
Here's Callum Mule coming in as well. He's going to set up Jacob Cornejo. That one gets intercepted by Drew Thomas. And Regent trying to gather themselves after an early onslaught offensively by Southern Virginia. Here's number 9, Keith Cardenas, sending it back for his defender, Versovic. Lots of pressure there being applied by the Knights. That was Ben Simister again. Now a through ball. Royals have an opportunity. It's going to go wide of the post. No problem there for Tradem Stringham. He wasn't worried. And that's a goal kick for the Knights.
No, Stringham not worried by that shot opportunity at all. I think even more daunting for this Royal squad is that these typical starters for the Knights that have just come into the game have completely fresh legs. They are not fatigued. They have been sitting and watching all game long, just itching to get in.
And as the Knights are resetting here, the Knights Athletic Department wants to thank the following sponsors for their continued support of Knights Athletics. Those sponsors are Cornerstone Bank, Mill Creek Orthodontics, River Crossing Apartments, Straws Drinks and Eats, Grace Automotive, where SVU students and staff can receive 10% off their vehicle maintenance needs. Also, Papa John's Pizza, Vinyl Cuts, The Beeve, Katana Sushi, and Hibachi Express. As the Knights are now into attacking territory. This is Holman looking for Jacob Lee. Again, he's going to slide for it, and it deflects off a defender, a corner for the Knights. And to continue with those sponsors, if you would like to partner with Knight Athletics to promote your business to the Knight Nation, please contact Brett Schroeder at 801-633-1894. That's 801-633-1894. The Knights will get ready for this corner, their sixth on the day, second of the half already, as Callum Mule sends it towards the goal line. It deflects off the stomach, I think, of Tyler Hambright. Knights signaling for another corner. They get it, and Callum Mule sets it up again. He's going to leave this one on the ground for Jacob Cornejo. He'll loft it into the box himself, but Enrique smartly comes out of the goal to grab that one, and the Royals stave off another corner.
Have you ever been down to Grace Automotive, Quinn?
I have, not for myself personally, but I helped a friend get his car there.
I've been down there a couple of times. I'm running a Pontiac from 2007, so every so often I need to need to make my way over. But they do a great job. Always give a good deal. You name your car, Quinn?
I typically don't, but my wife has named our car. Which I won't get into that, but as Gavin Young applies pressure, but Enrique's there to grab it at the top of the box. He'll roll it for his defender. That's number 5, Cameron Laubach. Stolen away by Ammon Lewis. Now Dallin Miller looking for a through ball to Ben Simister, but a good diving play by the Royals to keep that one away. Now Simister cut into the middle of the field. He'll strike it. It bounces off of the defender of the Royals. Up for grabs, but eventually cleared by Regent as a dangerous opportunity for, at the moment, the Knights' most potent goal scorer.
Yes, but some strong defensive play out of Regent University. If you were wondering, Quinn, my Pontiac, her name is Bessie.
Very nice. Now it's Jacob Cornejo turning. He's going to set up Porter Whitlock. Rather, that was Merton setting up Porter. He'll look for Elijah Holman, who started the game, remains on the field for the start of the second half. A really nice looking cross over for Ben Simister. Again, he's got 5 goals in his last 3 games. Now Dallin Miller looking towards the middle, but opts to go to the near side for Jacob Lee. He'll loft it into the box, and Gavin Young's there. He'll get a head to it, but it bounces in front of Enrique's. He'll grab it to slow things down. He's wanting his troops to get a bit further up the field.
Now we've noticed the Knights have had several opportunities up in the Royal box, and several of the times they've opted to go for a cross header combination, and it's been thwarted each time. Do you anticipate that strategy changes?
Well, it looks like they've had some openings and had some opportunities, so I think they'll continue, and if it still doesn't work, 10-15 minutes later, I think they'll adjust. As that one goes out of bounds, a throw-in. Looks like Drew Thomas of the Royals there to pick it up, get it back in play. Throw that one towards the box. Callum Mule gets to it. He'll send it back out of bounds. Another throw-in for the Royals. They'll go quickly. Looking for Gill. He'll send it back for Thomas, who crosses it across the box. And Elijah Holman is there to clear it, but they're not out of the woods yet. Good defense by the Knights. That's going to be forced out of bounds, and I think that's going to result in a goal kick for Southern Virginia and Traden Stringham. Far side now for Jacob Cornejo. He'll find Jacob Lee. No one in the vicinity to guard him. Looking for Ammon Lewis. And a nice shoulder check there given to Ammon. Ref says play on. Good pressure applied by Gavin Young. But that's number 9 of Regent, Keith Cardenas, showing some really nice skill to get around Ammon and Gavin.
Yes, and actually a surprisingly low amount of fouls called against this Royal squad today. Definitely below their average.
And certainly no egregious plays to this point as Ben Simister gets loose. Looking for Ammon Lewis. The flag stays down. That's going to be a goal for Ammon Lewis. 1-0 Southern Virginia. Beauty of a pass. I think that was Ben Simister in the middle of the field. Him and Ammon have been on the attack together a lot the past couple of games. And Ammon strikes for another one.
And I believe that will even Ammon and Ben up at 5 goals apiece so far this season.
That will be Ammon's 5th. Correct.
So now, at the moment, the two of them share the goals leader position. But once again, I imagine Benjamin wanting to push the envelope here, continue his scoring streak.
So Ammon Lewis gets the crowd revved up here. Under 10 minutes gone in the second half. The Knights have been on the attack. An onslaught of shots towards Enriquez, and eventually it paid off for Ammon Lewis. And yes, to make it official, there was an assist given to Ben Simister as Lewis got loose behind the Royal defense and found himself all alone with the keeper. No mistake made by Ammon.
And I want to be clear, Quinn, on my note earlier about Ben Simister probably coming out and scoring again. I did not want to make light of what Ammon Lewis had just done. He had put a beautiful touch on that ball to get it into the back of the net. Make no mistake about that.
Pressure being applied by Porter Whitlock against Gill. He'll win that battle. Now Cornejo gets it past a sliding attacker from the Royals. Now Ammon Lewis, a through ball looking for Gavin Young on the near side. But eventually that's nicely stolen from him by the Royals. And Drew Thomas will look to reset back for his keeper.
Now, Gavin Young, one to watch as well. He had led the Knights squad in goals for a portion of the season, but since has been passed by Ammon and Benjamin. So I am sure he is also looking to get back on the board.
Yeah, I think Gavin had a really nice offensive streak to get things going in the six-game unbeaten streak. Still one of the top point getters on this Knights squad. He also has the third most shots on goal at 9 on the year. This is Merton resetting for Traden Stringham. He's going to go far side for Callum Ewell, and a couple of guys that are typically in the starting lineup that we haven't seen yet and probably won't see the rest of the day is Brandon Victory and Luke Hemingway. They are certainly the anchor for that Knights defense as there's a through ball looking for Ammon Lewis on the near side. It goes out of bounds behind him. A throw in for Regent. Now Nicholas Merton being pressured a lot by Tyler Hambright. And that pressure pays off as he forces a Knights turnover. Drew Thomas as a defender goes down for the Knights. That was number 10, Churamanzi, in on the action, but it's going to be a free kick for Southern Virginia. Trayden Stringham, the keeper, will take it. Cornejo, a nice ball down the far side for Callum Ewell. He'll stop on a dime and look for Dallin Miller, but it goes past him. And Regent intercepts. Lots of speed there. Churamanzi looking for a through ball for Gill. He's got Tyler Hambright streaking down the near side. They'll look towards the middle. Regent still with it now. Gill goes towards the goal, and Trayden Stringham's going to have to come out of his goal. Everyone misses it. Hambright still with it, looking for Drew Thomas now, as Regent able to get some good pressure for the first time in the second half.
Some real physical play there, Quinn.
Now it's Ben Simister. Lots of speed going towards the middle of the field. Looking to take a strike himself, but he gets cut off by two Royals. Good defense on their part. And now Josh Moore will try to find his way around Gavin Young and Ammon Lewis. He can't do it, and eventually the Royals just cleared out where Porter Whitlock can take control.
The Royals put together a tremendous string of passes and runs moving towards that last opportunity of theirs. Ultimately, nothing coming of it. But excellent play.
Here's Ammon Lewis again. He's going to cut back towards the middle. He'll release a shot that gets deflected by a Royal defender. And now Tyler Hambright, lots of speed, looking to run with it. He's broken up by Whitlock. Then a tackle by Elijah Holman. Three Knights surrounding Tyler Hambright. He can't do anything about it. Now the Knights back on the attack with Porter Whitlock. Nice move to get around the defender. Into the middle it goes for Simister. Gavin Young just behind him. But here's Jacob Lee with it again. Now Gavin Young in the middle of the field. Wants to wind up with it, but not too much room for him. Now Jacob Lee goes down. And now Porter Whitlock on the near side. Make a cut to the outside. Now cross it. Deflected off the defender. Versovich out of bounds for a Knight corner.
Each of these last few Knight opportunities coming to the top of the box, looking like they wanted to square up with the goalie to get the most opportunity, most open space on goal. But every time as they move in, multiple defenders converging on the ball, unable to get a proper shot off.
And looks like Callum Mule is going to take this corner again. It's the third on the day for the Knights in the second half, rather. And punched out there by Enriquez. Jacob Lee almost gets to it. Up for grabs in the box. And it looks like there's a Royal down. He's in a bit of pain. Looks like he might have collided with Jacob Lee when Jacob was on his way up to strike it.
And the trainer will come out to have a look at him.
Yeah, that looks like it's head athletic trainer Chad Mahaffey there to take a look at the Royal who's down. And we'll take a break for just a second.
As we take a break, we'll have another word from our sponsors. The Knights Athletic Department would like to thank the following sponsors for their continued support of Knights Athletics: Cornerstone Bank, Mill Creek Orthodontics, River Crossing Apartments, Straws, Drinks, and Eats, Grace Automotive, where SVU students and staff can receive 10% off their vehicle maintenance needs, Papa John's Pizza, locally owned and operated, Vinyl Cuts, The Beeve, sweet souvenirs, and Katana Sushi and Hibachi Express. If you would like to partner with Knights Athletics to promote your business to the Knight Nation, please contact Brett Schroeder at 801-633-1894.
It looks like the player for Regent is back on his feet. That was number 10, Churamanzi. Looks to be okay walking off on his own power, thankfully.
I would like to mention also that trainer Chad Mahaffey normally does a phenomenal job. The school here has the utmost confidence in him and what he does. Um, keeps the players here in good shape and well taken care of.
And because of that, looks like Chuamanzi's going to come out. Though he does look okay, they'll make a substitution. Now the Royals back in control with it. This is Enriquez, the goalkeeper.
Oftentimes, Quinn, when you get banged up a little bit like that, you need a moment to reset. Get yourself in a good headspace before moving forward.
Drew Thomas with it in his own end. Regent just looking for some space to get by, but 3 Knight attackers are on top of it. They finally get it to Gill, and now Tyler Hambright looking for some space, but eventually broken up by Elijah Holman. Holman, he's played the entire 62 plus minutes of this one. It's now Jacob Cornejo with it. Send it back for Callum Mule. He'll get it back. And now it's Traden Stringham looking for Porter Whitlock and now Nicholas Merton.
Now, number 8, Tyler Hambright, freshman out of Stevens, Pennsylvania, has been causing a number of issues so far for the Knights.
And Porter Whitlock gets all ball on that tackle as Graylin Gill went down. Now it's Jacob Cornejo looking across the field for Callum Mule. They'll play catch with it. He's looking for Ammon Lewis, I think that was, but it was too far behind him. Dallin Miller back with it. That deflects off a Royal, out of bounds, a Knight throw-in.
Bit over 15 minutes of the half has passed.
Nice feed for Jacob Lee. He stops on a dime, but Ammon Lewis is too far away to grab control of it. There's a bit of a check from behind by Elijah Holman. And he's going to get booked for a yellow card on that one. But both guys appear to be okay and in good spirits. That was Tyler Hambright going down.
And as I've said before, Hambright causing a number of issues for the Knights, especially with the speed that he has.
Yeah, he's certainly the guy that Regent wants the ball if they're going to manage a comeback here. As we've said many times, he's their leading goal scorer with 4 on the year. That's Aaron Arenas, who's come back in for the Knights. He goes down, but eventually it comes to Ammon Lewis, and now on the near side for Elijah Holman. He'll look towards the middle for Ben Simister. Now Cornejo again looking for Simister. He's got to step on the D, goes towards the goal, and it bounces into the net. Another goal for Ben Simister to keep his streak alive.
Oh, and I am sure both he and his family at home are quite happy with that, with the run that he's had and what he's been able to do.
Make that 6 goals in the last 4 games for Ben Simister. He's been on an absolute tear. Him and Ammon Lewis both playing big parts in those goals, as it's now 2-0 in favor of Southern Virginia.
And with Simister adding an assist today, the play out of him over these last 6 games have been nothing but stellar. They could not ask anything more of him.
Simister, a sophomore out of St. George, Utah. Desert Hills High School. There's now a Regent desperately trying to get something going. But that one will roll out of bounds. A goal kick for a trade in Stringham.
And the Royals have had a number of opportunities, a number of shots that they've been able to take, just unable to connect thus far. So they're looking to figure out how to get those those shots to sink in, to create just a bit more space so that they can get the boot on the ball that they are desiring. Because they're able to get down there. They're able to create the opportunity, just have been unable to finish.
This is Graylin Gill tapping at it, but he loses it to Jacob Cornejo. And now Dallin Miller's got Aaron Arenas on the far side. And he'll look back towards the middle of the field. Now Jacob Lee will send it back to Dallin. And Callum Mule steps up from his defensive position. As Jacob Cornejo is going to take a shot at the goal. It's going to go way over the crossbar, though, and a goal kick for Regent will result from that.
Yes. Callum Mule, always so good at distributing the ball, always so excellent at seeing the field. Big part of this Knights squad.
Yeah, him and a bunch of the other guys on this Knights squad are who might not score, as many goals as, Ben Simister or Ammon Lewis. As Ammon steals it right there, he's going to have a shot in the middle of the field. Tries to set up Aaron Arenas, who's going to get to it before it goes out of bounds, but he falls and will lose possession. I think they are going to rule it out of bounds. So a goal kick for Regent. But back to your point, Nick, guys like Callum Mule, Porter Whitlock, who's played the entirety of this one, Brandon Victory, Luke Hemingway, such key parts to this Knights team, as obviously it's not just all about the goals, but about how well you can play defense and be a consistent playmaker for your team. This is Casado back in for the Knights. That one gets cleared towards Jacob Lee. Now Porter Whitlock will set up Merton, and now Traden Stringham will direct traffic and set up Callum Mule on the far side.
Yes, now I'm not going to say that you can't get down to the other side of the field without distributors like Yule, without people able to pass like that. It's possible, but the game becomes so much more difficult when you don't have players like that on your squad, fighting for you every moment, getting the ball to where it needs to be.
Here's Jacob Lee with it again. He's going to set up Ammon Lewis, who will go to the outside for Ramon Casado. And Ammon will look across the field. That's Callum Mule. He'll cut towards the middle, and they try to get it back to him. He does have it. Now Jacob Lee looking for a cross. Over for Aaron Arenas, who heads it to the other side of the box. Ammon Lewis was in the vicinity, but could not get there before a Royal defender. So another nice looking opportunity for the Knights.
You love to watch those plays. So exciting every time as the ball goes up. Player leaps into the air to get the header.
And they want to get someone like Aaron Arenas on the board, who's appeared in 3 matches but just 58 minutes. So he's getting some really nice playing time in this one, and has certainly been a good speedy option on the wing, looking for his first goal on the year. This is Jacob Lee. He's going to turn back and survey the field. He'll find Ammon Lewis, who almost loses it, but it keeps it in bounds. Then a nice tackle by number 22, Fursovic, will result in a head-in, and Casado will take it. Cornejo, a through ball for Ammon Lewis, a bit too far for him. It's cleared out back to Porter Whitlock of the Knights. Now the speedy Ben Simister. It's kicked away from him by Laubach. Over to the side of Callum Mule. Graylin Gill, now a nice pass, looking for number 7, Mancia Campos. He has it now. Able to get around a Knight defender. Then that's taken away, but a penalty called on the Knights, so a free kick about 50 yards out of the goal for Regent.
Now, it appeared to me that Mancia Campos had Hambright wide open on the close side of the field here. And if he would have been able to see him, it would have opened up, of course, tremendous opportunity here for the Royals. But it seems like either he was unable to locate him or saw something that I didn't, because the pass certainly did not go his direction.
Now Campos' free kick is rejected by the Knights, and now they are back on the attack with Ammon Lewis. Looking for a cutting Ben Simister, who traps it. He's got a chance on the goal, fires, and a good save by Enriquez. Now Jacob Lee has a crack at it, juggles it in, puts it over the crossbar, way too high, obviously, on that one, as he had to gather it quickly, but a misfire, and it stays at 2-0.
Yes, it seems like Jacob Lee felt the pressure coming from Enriquez, knew that he needed to get the ball up and over Enriquez, just put a bit too much oomph on it. A little too much juice on that one.
So you can see why, Simister has those 6 goals in the last 4 games. A lot of speed, and the way he's able to trap the ball and gather it at this high rate of speed is just lethal for the Knights offense, as there's a penalty and a free kick for the Royals.
Oh, and if you'll watch as he plays, the first touch that he gets on that ball, always excellent.
And there was an opportunity there for Tyler Hambright, as Cazada was covering him, but then Porter Whitlock came into the vicinity, and it looks like that's going to be a penalty kick opportunity and they're going to have Graylin Gill take it. Knights are a little confused of what the call might have been. They didn't see anything, obviously, but Traden Stringham will now stare down Graylin Gill, who will take it for Regents. I think this is the first penalty kick that the Knights have faced this year, if I'm not mistaken. So Graylin Gill gets set.
I do believe you are correct on that, Quinn. First time Stringham has been faced with this.
Whistle blows. Here comes Gill. Strikes into the left side. Traden Stringham went to the left himself. But that's going to be a goal for Graylin Gill. So don't go away, folks. It's only a 1-goal game. Knights obviously have been in control, but Tyler Hambright of the Royals was able to draw a penalty kick, which Graylin Gill took and easily got it by Traden Stringham to make it a 2-1 game.
Now, Quinn, I didn't quite get an eye on the foul that caused that penalty there. Were you able to see that?
Well, I know for sure that Ramon Cazado was in the area. I think they were calling it on him because Porter Whitlock came through with lots of speed and got all ball. Was able to trap it with his chest, so it must have been on Cazado. But nonetheless, it is a 2-1 lead now for the Knights, cut in half by the Graylin Gill penalty kick. And I stand correct, that wasn't the first penalty kick that the Knights have faced, but obviously the first one on the day. As we'll see how the Knights respond to this one. Regent probably experiencing a wave of momentum with that, as Porter Whitlock traps this one.
Oh, certainly. Points like that always seem to rejuvenate a squad.
But here comes Ben Simister. He's got Aaron Arenas streaking down the left side. He's going to look for him. He'll have an opportunity at the goal, and what a save by Enriquez. As
Wow.
Ben Simister, what a move with Ammon Lewis to get around the defender and had almost a 2-on-1 with Aaron Arenas, who did get the shot off at a pretty tough angle, but a great save made by the Royal keeper.
Yes, Connor Enriquez doing everything right there. Absolute clinic of a save.
And Callum Mule's going to take another corner. It's the 9th on the day for Southern Virginia, as they're going to try and add to their lead, make it 2 goals again. It's going to stay on the ground, and here it's in front for Gavin Young. Now Aaron Arena's on it. Now Jacob Lee will take control again, looking for some space, but really tight defense by the Royals. But there is going to be a penalty called, a free kick for the Knights now, just about 20 yards outside the Royal goal. And that's my mistake. That's Tad Tefalelmar in there, not Gavin Young. Gavin Young was subbed out earlier in this second half. And that's number 7, Mancia Campos, going to get booked with a yellow card on that penalty.
And this kick coming in a dangerous position. Definitely close enough to take a direct shot on goal.
And let's see if Semister looks for his teammate or takes a shot at the net. Remember, he's got the hot foot right now for the Knights, 6 in his last 4, including 1 today. Here comes Semister. He'll go for the goal, and it's going to go over the crossbar, out of bounds, a goal kick for the Royals. So the Knights not able to convert on that one. And despite having most of the offensive possession time, they are going to have to think defense as well, so they don't allow Regent to tie this thing after the Grayling Gill penalty kick that cut their lead in half. Says Callum Mule back for trade-in Stringham. And I look for Porter Whitlock, much to the liking of the rugby team. And now Dallin Miller, lots of contact there by Campos again. And so Dallin Miller will take this free kick and send it all the way over for Porter Whitlock.
It would seem that the rugby team are big Whitlock fans.
They're going to turn it over now. This is Campos moving it back for Drew Thomas. He's going to find number 24, Joseph Hawkins, high up in the air. Porter Whitlock gets ahead to it. And Aaron Arenas just tries to crush it out of the zone. And now it's Dallin Miller. Tries to turn the corner. He's disrupted by Drew Thomas.
All right, if you are the Knights here moving forward into the final 15 minutes of play, do you change the game plan at all that you have the lead coming into the close? Or do you stick with what you've been doing?
I'd say stick with what they're doing. Obviously, they just got scored on, but I think it was more of a tough break, maybe not positioned as well as they wanted in that particular set. And so I think they'll stick to it, as Jacob Lee's got some space. And looking for Callum Mule, who had a step on the defense, but smartly coming out, is Connor Enriquez. But to your point, Nick, I'd stick with it. It's worked for this entire second half. Obviously 2 goals, and that was really the only dangerous opportunity that the Royals had. Is now it's Tad Tefalelmar with it.
All right.
Tad is a freshman from Pocatello, Idaho.
Then riddle me this, Quinn. Do we see any more points coming in this half of play?
I'd like to see more points, obviously. I like watching goals, but we'll see. I think the Knights will stay on the attack, but also, be smart defensively, as Traden's going to send it along for Merton, but he'll send it back to Traden, and they will slow things down. Just under 15 minutes to play in the second half of play. Now it's Ben Simister. Lots of open field in front of him. He'll opt over for Dallin Miller. He'll give it back to Simister, but he's covered by Drew Thomas. They're going to switch fields over for Jacob Lee. He's got a man breaking. They'll cross it over to Ammon Lewis, but it goes over his head. It stays inbounds. Ammon's going to go after it. And now it's Dallin Miller. He'll look for a cross. Inside for Ben Simister. Nifty move to get around the defender. almost gets loose, but a good play defensively by the Royals to stave that one off. And this one's going to be offsides. The flag is up. So trade-in Stringham doesn't have to worry too much about that one, as the Royals thought they had number 24, Joseph Hawkins, up the field. But he was already behind. I think that was Nicholas Merton. Dallin Miller was looking for Ben Simister, but Simister didn't move from his position. It goes by him. And then a turnover by the Knights. This is Merton again. He'll reset for trade-in Stringham.
All right, I know the game has not come to a close yet, but we've seen a lot of players who haven't seen a ton of minutes so far this season. What are you keying in on? What have you seen that you really like out of some of those players that you can take into the game against the Bison next week, or next game, rather?
Well, I like what I've seen from the defense. Guys like Nicholas Merton getting lots of time. Obviously, Porter Whitlock, we've said his name a lot. But I think just the valuable experience that some of the depth players got who don't see this field as often, such as Raymond Casado and Jacob Lee as well, is becoming a really key and lethal part of this offense. So I think this all bodes well for next game, but also probably most importantly for the Knights when they start conference play in not too long. Now Ammon Luce is going to get a through ball on the near side. He'll cross it, looking for Callum Mule. Doesn't get to him. Now Ben Simister up in the air to head that one. He gets taken down, and the Royals able to clear. Jacob Lee, a nifty move. He's going to go for goal, and a good save there by Connor Enriquez. What a powerful shot by Jacob Lee, the second time that he's let loose and almost gotten one for himself.
Yes. But Connor Enriquez has been just phenomenal today. Really on top of his game and been able to keep the Royals right in this.
Callum Mule here to take the 10th corner on the night for the Knights. That one's going to make it through a bunch of bodies. It's going to stay low, but Royals able to clear it. It's Brock Hester back in there for the Knights. They're going to feed Ammon Lewis on the far side. Flag stays down. He'll keep it on the ground, but easily picked up by Enriquez. He's going to boot it looking for Graylin Gill.
Now, I will tell you, Quinn, as abnormal as 10 corner kicks might be for this Knight squad to be taking, this is not an atypical sight for this Royals team. On the season as a whole, opponents prior to today have taken 101 corner kicks against them.
Certainly opened up a lot of opportunities offensively, despite not being able to convert, but it's a good sign for the Knights squad as Nicholas Merton still in the game, playing a lot of minutes tonight along with Porter Whitlock. They'll send it back for trade and Stringham. Under 10 minutes remaining now. Knights holding on to a 2-1 lead. All the goals coming in the second half of play. First, it was Ammon Lewis on a sweep feed from Ben Simister. Then it was Simister himself, extending his goal streak to 4 games with 6 in that span. And then not too long ago, Graylin Gill scored for the Royals off a penalty kick. Porter Whitlock setting up Jacob Lee. Nifty moves to get around Drew Thomas. He's taken down. Ref says play on.
Now, I have asked you about what do you like, what do you look forward to in the next game for the Knights. But if you're a Royal, what do you like so far that you've seen in this game? What are you taking into the upcoming game against Barton College?
I think they've played some stellar defense. So a lot of things to like. Lots of aggressiveness. They've played well. There's a Knight getting around a defender. Ben Simister almost loose in front of the goalie, but Enrique's there to cover it up and stave off Simister's second of the game potentially.
And once again, Enrique's so good tonight. Just performing exceptionally well, doing everything that he can to give his Royals a chance at this game.
10 saves on the day, I think, for Enrique's. One's going to bounce off the head of Whitlock. Jackson Gorringe in control for the Knights. And now it's Whitlock. He's going to turn that one over. Deflection. It goes right to Tyler Hambright. Not the guy you want to see with the ball if you're the Knights. Graylin Gill now the goal scorer with it. Good steal there by Whitlock. Lots of patience to intercept that.
So as you were saying, Royals have been excellent defensively. Anything else that you're taking if you're a Royal into the game against Spartan?
You tell me.
Well, I certainly, as you've seen, have high praise for Connor Enriquez. I have been enjoying the speed and of the strikes coming out of their forwards. I think they're opening up a lot of good opportunities, a lot of additional shots. If they can just create a bit more space coming into those shots, I think a lot more of those shots end up on goal, giving them opportunities to score.
Looks like that was Brock Hester going down. A lot of contact on that tackle. It went out of bounds. And I think a throw-in for Southern Virginia. Not sure if there's a booking there. But Porter's going to, or rather, Brock is going to stay in, I think. And it's a free kick, rather, not a throw-in for Southern Virginia.
Yes, and it does appear that there was a yellow card issued on the play.
Just 6 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in this one. And now it's Jacob Lee. He's been a big part of this Knights attack. Now Ben Simister and Ammon Lewis trying to combine. It's back to Jacob Lee. Now Jacob Lee on the near side. Nice through ball looking for Simister just past him. It goes out of bounds. A goal kick for the Royals. Enriquez will settle this thing down and let his team know he's going to boot it towards midfield, right on top of the Knights logo. Jackson Gorringe in a battle with it. Drew Thomas will come out on top. I think the flag stays down there. Tyler Hambright in pursuit for the Royals. He's going to lose it. Goes just out of bounds. And I think that's going to result in a throw-in for the Knights. They wanted a goal kick. Tough spot to throw into.
Yes, and Hambright must have timed that run just perfectly because it was certainly close with the defender there. Looked like it could have been called offside, but like I said, the timing must have been impeccable. Excellent job by Hambright. Just couldn't maintain possession.
Looks like Thomas McPoyle is coming in for Aaron Arenas, so good work by Aaron today. Was a part of quite a few scoring chances for the Knights, and now it's Ben Simister taking control. Brock Hester's got some space just above the Knights logo. He'll slow things down, cut back towards midfield where Simister takes this, cutting through the middle, looking for Ammon Lewis. Couldn't quite trap it, and it rolls into the hands of the keeper, who will slow things down.
And Ammon Lewis wishing he had that one back.
Yeah, that's about 4 or 5 opportunities outside of the goal scored that Simister and Lewis have combined for some pretty nice passing plays, but just can't quite convert. And that one's going to go out of bounds, and Drew Thomas will come back to throw it in for the Royals. Or rather, that's a free kick. I think a penalty was called. No, it is a throw-in, as the referee signals to Thomas.
Oh, and that's perhaps something I'm more pleased with than anything from this Knight squad today. And perhaps it's something that Coach Pemberton has been working with them on. But the passing has been excellent. The passing from the defenders moving forward, and the passing between those wingers and strikers to set up opportunities to shoot. All of it has been phenomenal tonight.
Campos trying to make his way around a couple of Knight defenders. But eventually Brock Hester turns that back over. Now Drew Thomas looking for his teammate Graylin Gill down the field. Doesn't quite get there, and Porter Whitlock, who certainly has a height advantage on Gill, will head that one out of bounds.
Quinn, I think he's got a height advantage on just about every player out here tonight.
Just about. Campos goes for goal up high on that one, but it goes wide right. A goal kick for Stringham. And just about 2.5 minutes here for Regent to mount a comeback. They did score to make the lead 2-1 with a Graylin Gill penalty kick, but the Knights have again held possession for most of the second half, even despite that penalty kick goal. Porter Whitlock's going to take this goal kick and whack it down to the other end. Looking for Ben Simister was Thomas McPoyle. Simister cuts to the middle, a really nice move, looking for McPoyle, but it goes past him, and the Royals take control. This is Campos with it. Tyler Hambright wants him to go through with it, but eventually a steal by Ammon Lewis, a nice play by him, and he will find an open Jacob Lee in the middle of the field.
Yeah, just a bit too much time holding on to that ball from the Royals. Gave Ammon the opportunity to get in there and break it up.
Ammon's going to put moves on the defender, looking for Brock Hester. A nice play to get at Jacob Lee just past him. He'll slide nicely to keep it in the Knights' possession. Now Callum Ewell. He'll think things over. Nice give and go with Jacob Lee. He'll flip it over the defender. Look for Ben Simister in the middle, but none doing. And now the Royals have control. Just over a minute remaining. Knights trying to hold on to this lead at 2-1. And they've done a good job in the past few minutes, but now the Royals back on the attack. Tyler Hambright's going to break towards the net. He's got 3 Knights converging on him. He whiffs on the shot, still with control. Now it's Graylin Gill on the near side, bottom of your screen. He's just going to boot it towards Porter Whitlock, who boots it back out and clears the zone. Ben Simister in the area, so the Royals got to be careful. Simister able to trap it. He'll set up Ammon Lewis. He's got some space. He'll go one-on-one. Cut back towards the middle and strike it towards the goal, and a good save by Connor Enriquez. 30 seconds now. He's going to tell his players to move up as quick as possible. He's going to advance himself. He'll lead the goal and give the Royals an extra attacker.
So all hands on deck now.
And it bounces towards Tyler Hambright. Dangerous times for the Knights, and smartly clearing it are the Knights. And the Royals are going to try and go quickly. Now just 10 seconds. They got to throw it in towards the box with Josh Moore. Cleared out by Whitlock, in a corner now for the Royals, but it's not going to be in time, as time will run out on Regent University as the Knights hold on for a 2-1 victory, although a very decisive second half for the Knights, who controlled most of the possession. And thanks to goals from Ammon Lewis and Benjamin Simister, come out on top with a 2-1 victory. Nick, your closing thoughts on this game and going forward for Southern Virginia?
Yes, once again, saw some excellent passing from the Knights. Uh, we got to see Benjamin Simister continue his scoring streak. We saw another one from Ammon Lewis. And once again, the Royals, we got to see a lot of good defensive play out of them, a lot of positive strike opportunities. Overall, a really fun game to watch, especially coming into this second half. Both of these teams seeing the opportunity to win. Ultimately, the Knights coming out on top.
So 2-1 victory for the Knights. They will next take the field here at home on Wednesday, September 27th at 4 p.m. against Gallaudet University. And then their first game in USA South Conference play will be in Brevard, North Carolina against Brevard College this Saturday. We thank you all for joining us and hope you have a pleasant evening.